We have the 2022 Burlsworth Trophy winner presented by Men on Melrose, Joe Evans.
Yes, sir. Appreciate that, boys.
Mr. Evans.
We're just repping through our awards right now. And yeah, I mean, we got to get your trophy out to you ASAP.
Yeah, no, I'm going to need that. A banquet would be, what I'm kind of looking forward to. But if we can't do that, then I'll take it in the mail for sure.
So we were talking about it before. Now I'm kind of intrigued. We should get like the Iowa media team to actually record a ceremony, and me and Coop will fly out our nicest tuxes for a weekend during spring game.
I mean, I'm all for it. I don't know. Wait, who's gotten an award so far?
So far, we don't want to give too much away.
Okay,
we have
yep.
Spence won the Heisman. You got Burlsworth.
Yep.
Moss got the Thorpe.
Okay.
Him and Spence live together, so we had to ruin that surprise. Sent the trophy to one address. And then the other ones are going to have to come on to accept. So,
no, I love that. And I'll, when this happens, I'll have a good speech ready for you guys.
Yes,
it's going to be some good stuff.
We're thinking though for the. All right, what's the receiver one?
Blitnikoff.
For the Blitnikoff, it has to be Vines.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Nico's gonna be pissed.
Yeah, well, I mean, Nico.
Yeah.
Nico got a massage every Tuesday.
Yeah, Nico. Every time we asked him to come on, he said he couldn't do it.
Why not?
In his defense, we only asked on Mondays and Tuesdays, and he had class Monday and a massage Tuesday. So that's on us.
Well, I know he's watching the Lakers game here soon.
Yeah.
I just talked to him, so.
LaFraud James.
Yeah. Oh, don't get started.
Nico's the biggest bandwagon fan I've ever met in my life.
Dude, Nico, yeah. He loves LeBron. Like we were watching who was it? The Lakers versus it was someone on Friday night we were watching. Dude, he knows so much about the Lakers. It's incredible.
That was a great game, though. It came down to the wire. Memphis.
Yeah, it was the Grizzlies. And then they came back and won, like they were down 25 and won the other night against the Blazers.
I mean, I hope they're the best player in the league by far.
Yeah. I mean, we got to get AD back, though. That's our problem right now.
Are you a Lakers fan, too?
Yeah, dude. I love LeBron.
Oh, no.
I love LeBron. He's a
dude.
dog.
MJ or Bron? You're going Bron?
Sure. Like, you guys aren't going to be able to say anything when LeBron has the most points ever.
Chauncey Billups.
Totally different era. I think he ruined basketball.
You say Chauncey Billups or Bron?
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Game changer. One took over the game, one's a bitch. And we both know the answers to that, both of those.
Nah, I mean, you're talking like LeBron single-handedly beat the best team ever.
No.
Yes.
Not single-handedly. Kyrie literally won that series for him.
I mean, Kyrie hits one shot.
Okay, same with Ray Allen, Heat Spurs.
That's fair.
Bron can't do anything on his own. Kobe, though, beat the Celtics by himself.
He had Pau Gasol.
Yeah, kind of.
Lamar Odom.
He's a two-way player.
You ever heard of him?
Doesn't even know what defense is. They play with four on that.
Ron Artest, Meta World Peace.
Meta World Peace. Greatest fighter in sports.
False.
Just a dog.
Ben Wallace.
Ben Wallace was.
That Pistons team was – they were awesome.
Yeah.
89 Pistons, the best team of all time. All time.
Yeah.
Bill Laimbeer might be the greatest.
Bill Laimbeer, dude. Bill Laimbeer. That 30 for 30 was sick.
Sick. So sick. Him and Joe Dumars, wet little jumper. I had like 40
God.
2K.
The microwave.
Microwave Vinny Johnson, dude. Come on.
Come on now.
That's the funniest era because, like, even in The Last Dance, when they asked MJ about Isaiah Thomas, there is still bad blood there.
Dude, there's still bad blood.
Dude,
Well, the only reason Isaiah Thomas wasn't on the Dream Team was because of MJ.
Yep.
That's so funny.
It's hilarious.
Because Isaiah Thomas is better than MJ and LeBron. It's crazy.
Dude, that is wild. Hot take. I love it.
So, Joe, you're in Ames, Iowa, boy.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Best pizza place in Ames, Happy Joe's or Great Plains?
Oh, Great Plains for sure.
Dude, Great Plains is one of the best pizza places.
It's phenomenal. Do you ever dip your crust in honey?
In the honey, yes.
Dude,
What?
so good.
It's insane. They do like a wheat crust?
Yeah, dude. It's like, so actually, funny story is, instead of going to my was it junior year or senior year prom? Junior year prom, I just decided to go to Great Plains with my mom and my brother. That was my prom. And it was phenomenal. I wouldn't have fucking changed that shit for the world. It was, dude, I mean, it's just like great pizza. Yeah.
Great company.
Great pizza.
Great time.
Oh, it's incredible.
I mean,
There's only one other place that does like that wheat crust, and it's in Idaho Springs, Colorado, Bojo's, that I know of does that crust. Great Plains is like, you have to go there if you're ever in Ames, Iowa.
No, I agree. And I mean, I'll throw on some other places here too that you have to go to, and that's going to be El Azteca Mexican restaurant. Phenomenal. I mean, they get your food out and about. I feel like they have your fucking food ready before you even get in the door.
Dude, that's the best.
It's
amazing.
Yeah, dude. It's like the Little Caesars of Mexican food.
No, I mean, seriously. And then so you got El Azteca, you got Wallabies right next to it. I actually went there this past 3 weeks ago because I went back home for a little bit. I mean, pretty good. I think I remembered it being better. Everyone's gonna say Hickory Park, right? You got to go to Hickory Park. Decent.
What about Bebop's?
Oh, dude, stop.
It's the best, man.
Dude, Bebop's is gas.
I think it's so better than like In-N-Out. Like, get
100%.
All the burger chains out of here. Bebop's is, I think, number one on that chain.
I need to have any of you guys tried a Whataburger?
Yeah. I live in Texas now.
What'd you say?
I live in Texas now, so that's slowly becoming my hangover meal.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, no, I need to try there, but I've tried In-N-Out. I've tried pretty much every fast food place, and Bebop's by far I think is number one.
Mm-hmm.
Really? I don't even know what Bebop's is, to be honest with you. I've never even been to Ames.
I mean, that's fine. You don't really need to go. I mean, there's Bebop's in Des Moines.
Oh, fuck.
I really wouldn't. I mean, love Ames High School. There's some great people in Ames, but you don't really never need to go there.
Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah.
Speaking of, are you on the Mount Rushmore of Ames High athletes? You might slip in at number 4 there.
I mean, you could. I do have, so I always say this because I think it's like the funniest thing ever. So I was actually like decent at basketball. And so obviously like Doug McDermott and Harrison Barnes played on the same team. So like Doug McDermott couldn't really, like, obviously he could score a bunch, but like he also had Harrison Barnes on the same team.
Mm-hmm.
So my claim to fame is that I have more points, high school points, than Doug McDermott does.
That's
awesome. You did beat that.
So there's like this like Hall of Fame thing, or like they do like the Player of the Year kind of thing. And me, Fred Hoiberg, Harrison Barnes, and Taman Lipsey are the only like 2-time winners ever.
Let's
So-
freaking go, Joe.
So all I'm saying is, if we had an all-time team, an all-time Ames High basketball team, Doug McDermott might be coming in for me off the bench. Hot take, but
Not a hot
no,
take. That's a real take.
that's a real take. But no, I mean Doug McDermott could beat me by 100. But
Do you remember that team though? Like, so did you grow up in Ames?
no, so I actually lived in Johnston. My
so
dad got the
right
principal
there, though.
job. He got the principal job in Ames High, like when I was in 5th grade. So when I was in 4th grade, it was when they were seniors. And like, so they played at Johnston, and like, of course we went, but like, you had to go to the game. Like, so like, you got like your sophomore game, you got your woman or girls varsity, and then you got your boys varsity. Like, you literally had to go of the sophomore, like the start of the sophomore game to even get a seat. It was that crazy. And I mean, they were just like so insane.
So my cousin, my cousins, I have some in Ames who used to live there, and so one of them was Harrison's age. They were buddies. So his friend group was like Harrison, Doug, and then just like some other Ames guys.
Yeah.
But obviously those are the notable names there.
Dude, that is sick.
But we went out for the state semifinal and final game that year. Like we sat with Shirley Barnes, but it was just crazy because the student sections were awesome. They played Marcus Page.
Yep.
In the
finals. I think they played in the finals. I think.
Okay,
that's when I mean, like, people knew of Marcus Page, but like, yeah, you had Harrison going to North Carolina, Doug going to Creighton, and they were just tearing, like, throwing oops, like it was nothing.
Do you remember Adam Weber? I think his name was the point guard.
I think, was it Michael Weber?
Michael Weber sounds more right.
Dude,
yeah.
he wouldn't miss.
If he were any taller,
dude, he would have been going. Yeah, so they had Michael Weber, right? Who I think he played D1 basketball. I think he did. I think a small D1. You had Doug, you had Harrison. You had this kid named James Kohler, who I think got offered by Stanford to play like tackle. Just like a big dude, right? And then you had like your role player who was just gritty. Just a gritty guy out there, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, that I don't know of any Iowa high school team that would ever beat that team.
It was nuts.
And then you had the greatest high school basketball coach of all time, Coach Downs.
Yeah,
I will say that on the pod.
Yeah, and that year they played the best Illinois team, Waukegan.
Yeah,
Hilton Coliseum, and just tore them apart.
By
30 on ESPN.
I think that game was supposed to be at Ames, but they sold way too many tickets.
Mm-hmm.
So then they had to put it at Hilton. Dude. Yeah.
Dude. So crazy. I think Mount Rushmore. Yeah, go for it.
I forgot Harrison Barnes and Doug went there. So I remember someone told me that when I was there, and it was like, that's just like I can't imagine a team having the two players of that caliber. I mean, in Wisconsin, like we played Harrow, Harrow was really good.
Yeah.
I remember going and watching. Remember the name JP Tokido?
No, that rings a bell.
He played for UNC. He was like a big
dunker. Yeah. Okay, I know that is.
We played against Jordan Poole in AAU.
Okay.
But like there was never a team that had two guys of that caliber. And like those teams with just a single guy would just dominate. I can't imagine, like it's just crazy. I think a team would have those like two very good NBA players.
Dude, like I mean, Doug McDermott won the College Basketball Player of the Year.
Yeah. Dougie
you know what I'm saying? And like they're still in the NBA right now.
Lottery picks.
Yeah. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
That team was crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like they were like so stupid. And it's actually cool. So like in our gym, we have like well, I don't know, we got a new gym, but when I played there, like we had like NBA legacy. So we had Harrison, Doug, Fred, and then a guy like Dick Gibbs. He played like back in like the 50s, 60s, and he was in the NBA too.
And you know what was crazy was when Harrison committed to North Carolina, a lot of people thought it would be Iowa State because his mom worked there and
Yep.
Doug's dad was the coach at Iowa
Yeah.
State at the time.
Yeah. Well, I think, yeah. No, I know. I remember that being like the big thing that everyone thought he was going to go to Iowa State, but went to UNC.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Doug's dad then got the job at Creighton.
Correct.
I think that's what happened because I remember Doug was supposed to go to UNI, and then he was able to get out of that to go to Creighton and play for his dad.
And it worked out.
I mean, dude is a dog.
Yeah, that was crazy. All right, so what was it like? Was it weird at all for you being in Ames, committing to Iowa? I mean, you started as a walk-on, won the Men on Melrose Burlsworth Trophy.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I mean, that's going on the mantle.
Yep.
I'm taking that to my parents' house, and that will be the number one thing up. I'll tell you that.
We'll get you a box, one of those clear boxes you can put it in.
Oh, God. Stop it. So what was it like being in Ames when I committed or what?
Yeah, being in Ames when you committed and going back to play them now.
So being in Ames when I committed, a lot of people did not like my decision. To say it in the nicest way. Like, I mean, I'm 18 and you got people saying like, you know, you made the wrong decision, right? Like just stuff like that. Like, yeah, like that was a terrible choice, blah, blah, blah. Like you should be here in Iowa State, whatever. And yeah, I mean, like that's how it was. Like people kind of just like gave me like looks and stuff like, what the hell is this kid doing? And in reality, like if you knew me and like really like knew like my family, like dude, I was an Iowa fan like forever. Like dude, in fifth grade, like I had people like I'd always wear my Iowa stuff. Like I'm a little fifth grader wearing my Iowa stuff around with my. So I have a twin sister, and we'd wear it around all the time. And you'd have like old people come up like, "Oh, get that!" Like they wouldn't say shit, but like get that stuff off your shirt. That's disgusting. I'm like, dude, like chill out. But like if you knew me, like, dude, if an Iowa coach, and I like told my dad this and like my mom, like when we had like to talk about like me playing college football and stuff, like if an Iowa coach comes into like the school, like, and they give me an opportunity, like I'm going 100%. The only reason I wouldn't have went to Iowa is if it was to help my family out. And like, if I would have got a scholarship to play Division I football, and that could have been anywhere. But like, if everything was even, like Iowa was my choice, like by far, like not even a debate.
So were you recruited heavily by Iowa State?
Yeah, I wouldn't say heavily. I mean, like I went to like I'd go to their games and stuff, and like they like Coach Campbell came into like my school and like all the coaches and stuff, and I mean they gave me like just like what Iowa did, like a preferred walk-on spot, and like guaranteed a spot on like the 105. So like I'd go to camp and stuff like that. But I wouldn't say like heavily. I wouldn't say that just because I mean I didn't get offered or anything. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. Right. What was your journey like at Iowa? Because is it true you were a quarterback in high school?
Dude, I used to sling it.
No way.
Dude, I used to. Dude, people don't believe me. Like, obviously now, like, I probably couldn't throw a football over 35, 40 yards. Just gain a lot of weight. Just doesn't help. But no, dude, like we used to run like a spread. So like I probably threw it in 9 games. Like I think I threw it like over 300 times.
In 9 games?
And dude, like we threw it all the time.
Holy shiz.
Like we
dude.
literally would either run like basically what we would do is we'd run like a quarterback draw, like a quarterback designed run, or we'd run 4 verts. So then I could just like run around and just like throw it deep. You know what I'm
That is
saying?
wild.
No, it was like so much fun. Like like obviously like playing quarterback was, I mean, it was sick. And my dad played quarterback in high school, so I always thought that was super cool. Just being able to do that. And then yeah, but like my journey at Iowa, so this is crazy. So Coach Wallace came into my high school, and Coach Morgan, I think I saw Coach Wallace and Coach Morgan, and they gave me a preferred walk-on spot. And I didn't really like know what that, entailed or anything like that. So I thought like I was coming to summer workouts, right? And ended up not getting invited to summer or like camp or anything. So like I was like a day one of class kid, which isn't very fun. kind of sucks just because you come in like day one and like you don't really, obviously, like a lot of like the friend groups and stuff are kind of established, and it's just hard to like, you literally get like thrown into practice and stuff as you're trying to balance class, as you're trying to balance literally everything, and everything's so new. So I came in as a school start walk on, which I carry that with me every day, which is freaking awesome. I like love that. I wouldn't have wanted it any other way. So came in, literally was like a backup on scout team that first season. Got into bull prep, and like Coach Wallace was putting me in at like linebacker and stuff. And I want to say, because I was like talking to my parents about this, I think I like made some plays, so like I was pretty happy about it. Then I'm like, all right, I think like, just trying to like help my way, whatever. Then we went into winter workouts, performed pretty decent there. And then we got to the spring, and they didn't have, so like first 3 practices, right? I played like a decent amount the first one, and then the second and third I like kind of started dropping off a little bit. And then they didn't have any like defensive ends. So I'm sitting there, and like Coach Wallace is like up on the board, and he's writing like our defensive ends names. He's like, all right, we got this guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy. And there was only like 4 for spring ball. And he's like, so like, what do you guys think that means? And then I forgot who raised their hand, but they're like, you're probably going to have to take some like linebackers to play DN for spring ball. And he's like, you're exactly right. So then he called, it was like Welch, Neiman, B. Wade. And then like, we're like leaving, and he's like, Evans, you stay in here too. And I'm like, I was like inside, I was so hoping he was going to call my name, just because like I just wanted a chance to like do any, like, you know what I'm saying? Literally anything. I would have you could have put me at holder, or you know what I'm saying? Just like literally anything. Just give me an opportunity. So he like called my name, and he's like telling like, all right, these are the guys like I want working in at D end for like the next couple practices, right? So then we get to practice, and like I'm running like with the 2s DNs, and like I'm actually like playing pretty well. I've never played DN, but like I had Coop, you remember Marty?
Oh, Marty Hopkins, baby, the man.
Marty Hopkins, dude. He was the man for me. Like if it wasn't for him, dude, I don't know if I'd even be here, because, well, like I mean, I could say that about a lot of coaches too, but he literally was telling me like what to do on every single play.
Yeah,
so,
dude, he's the man.
Dude, he's the man. So like Marty was like helping me out so much, and like I actually ended up like performing like pretty well, and like was making a lot of plays at the end. And then I'm in the linebacker meeting room. This is like one of the funniest stories. So I'm in the meeting room, and we're watching tape. Like Coach Wallace is going through the tape, like with the 1s, and then he gets to the 2s. and like I'm obviously playing it at D end, and he's like, "Hey, Evans, are you in here?" And like he said it like that, and I'm like sitting there, and I'm like, "Dude, like, what the fuck did you do?" You know, and I'm like scared shitless. I'm like, yeah, like I'm right here, and he goes, "Well, get your things and get out of here." And I'm like, what? I'm like, I'm like, I'm like, all right. And he's like, Evans, what did I just tell you? Get your shit and get out of here, right? And I'm like, all right. I'm like grabbing my stuff. He's like, it's a good thing, Evans. He's like, 2 doors down. Go join the D line room. And I'm like, sweet. So I was pumped up.
That's hype.
Nah, I mean, it's just like that's how like Coach Wallace is, and like, dude,
Yeah.
he is seriously like one of my favorite coaches of all time. Like, he's just the man.
The man.
And so like I end up going in the D line room, and like I walk in, and like all like the D line, like I remember AJ being like, "What's up, Joe?" Yeah, like he was like all pumped up for me to be in there, and like Chauncey was excited. Like it was just like a good experience, and like so then I ended up playing D line the whole spring, and then went in. I remember I was like watching the spring game with Dylan Doyle, and we're watching, and like Wallace was in, and he's like, Joe, like I don't think you realize like what you did this spring. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, you realize if like we would have kept you at linebacker, we would have been having that conversation on if do we bring him back in the summer? Like, what do we do with him? Because like we had a ton of like really, really good linebackers at that point.
Yeah, there was a ton.
Like a ton of them. And he's like, I don't think you realize what you did. Like, you know, and I'm like, yeah, you know, like just kind of like saying that, and not really realizing what, you know, what just happened, because then I had like my meeting with KF, and he was like, so like you're good to switch over like to defensive end, right? And I'm like, I didn't even think it was like a question. I was like absolutely. Like, are you kidding me? Like, so that's kind of how that happened, my journey, and then it just kind of kept going up from there. So
Okay, so based off of that, now that you've established your name as a D end, would you, looking back at it, of rather establish your name as a linebacker or no?
that's a good question. I don't think so. For me, like my mindset, and I've always been like this, is like literally to help the team wherever I needed to, like
Yep.
wherever I needed to be. And like that's always been my mindset. Like even back in high school, like I was playing linebacker up until sophomore year, and then sophomore year, like 2 injuries happened, and then I had to be quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm like literally like wherever I needed to be, I wanted to like, you know what I'm saying? Like wherever I could help the team, and
Yeah.
like just being able to like help the Hawks and stuff like that was a dream come true. So no, I mean, I'm really happy that, you know, the switch was made and I was able to make an impact, and still am. So,
Oh yeah.
Do you remember your first sack and what that feeling was like?
dude, hell yeah. That was the best feeling of all time. So, this is actually hilarious too. So, the Purdue game before is when I first got in. And me and I don't even know. Like, this is hilarious. So me and John Wagner, we're like that's like my best friend. You know what I'm saying? Like we literally do everything together. And we're roommates. We're watching a Tarantino movie in the hotel, and we're watching it. And like when I tell you, like me and John, like just we're not getting like any playing time.
Yeah.
And like it made like obviously made sense. Like it's our second year, we're not getting any playing time. And this is kind of like going to go against everything we're fucking taught, you know, like always be ready. So we're watching this movie. We go to snack. We like are talking with the boys. We go back in the room, and it's like, I think it's an 11 o'clock kick. So like, you got to get to bed at a decent time, you know, be ready to go. Me and John like look at each other, and we're like, you think we should finish this movie? Like we look at each other, we're like, yeah, dude. And I remember we go, yeah, fuck it, we're not getting in. so we're like, yeah, let's watch this movie. We had like an hour left. I'm talking, we probably got 5-6 hours of sleep. And that's the first. So John gets in that game. John gets his first ever sack. And then I end up getting in the game and play the whole fourth quarter. And then like we're in the locker room like laughing. We're like, dude, like, can you believe we like actually just did that? Like that happened. So then like the next, so like what I'm kind of getting to is that practice, like KB, like I knew I was gonna play against Northwestern, and KB like literally every practice was like, you're gonna get a sack this game. Like you're gonna get a sack. Like I know you are. And then ends up we're playing Northwestern. Last offensive snap Northwestern has, like it's a passing situation. I beat my guy, sack him, and like the feeling is like I'm like, dude, like in a way, like obviously like you never make it, like you've never made it, like you always have to have that mindset, but it's I actually like
you did it.
You know what I'm saying? Like I did it, like I made a play, like I got on the field.
Yeah.
And it was like the cool, like everyone on the sideline was going crazy, like AJ, like I actually have a picture on my Instagram, like AJ's like jumping on my back, like going insane, like Davion's over there, Chauncey, like
oh yeah.
It was just like the greatest feeling ever. And like after the game too, like seeing my family, it was just like just you know, something like that'll stick with me forever.
Oh yeah.
That's so cool. Growing up a Hawk fan too, and your name just hits the stat sheet.
Dude, it was so like when I tell you like, so like my phone too was just like insane, just going crazy. Like coaches that like I haven't heard from, like, you know what I'm saying, that were like, this was your dream, like since you were like 5, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, now I'm like out on the field actually making plays. So
that's awesome.
It was sweet.
That's so cool. Was that your favorite sack ever?
No. You guys got any guess on which one my favorite one was?
Minnesota.
Yes, sir. That one was just sick.
That was so
yeah. Yeah, so like that's actually, so right before that happened, that series, like obviously like a sack would end it. They were trying to like go down the field and score a touchdown. And my boy Wags, so it was who was on that? So it was our 3-man. So we had Valk on one side, Wags in the middle, and then me. And Wags was like, go end the game, Joe. He's like, go get you one. Go end the game. So like Wags did a good enough job of taking the guard too. And I ended up beating my guy, sacking him. He fumbled, and like the place goes crazy. And then Wags is in my face yelling ball game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was like, that was sick. And like just being like the game's over and I'm just like standing on the field. Everyone's like, you know what I'm saying, going crazy.
Oh yeah.
That was sweet. Yeah, no, I mean like there's like some good ones. Like I had this year. Oh shoot, I didn't even talk about the Ohio State play this year.
That was my next guess.
That one was pretty sweet. Yeah, so Ohio State, dude, I came around like, so we ran like a little text on, like a little game up under, and like no one picked me up. Like Logan Jones did a great job of picking the tackle, and the guard like stayed with him. And like I was just like running free, and I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna like hit CJ like as hard as I can, right? Like that was my thought process. I'm like, I'm gonna hit him like just as hard as I can. So I run up there and like lower my shoulder. Like I didn't even wrap up or anything. I just like lowered my shoulder thinking he was gonna throw the ball away. And like I see like as I'm lowering his shoulder, like he still has the ball. And I smoke him. I'm like, no way. I'm like, no way he held the ball. Yeah. And then I catch it out of like the corner of my eye. I'm like, dude. I'm like, no way, the fucking ball's out. Fumbles the ball, and I like pick it up. Dude, this is one of the greatest like stories ever. Pick the ball up, run for a touchdown. The story I'm gonna tell you is, so I go home every Thursday, and I told like the media this too, but every Thursday I go home and like have dinner with my family because they live in Iowa City now. And I'm having dinner with my dad, and my dad literally like is on his like he like saw on his phone like where the tickets are, and they were in the end zone. My dad has never said this, I shit you not, and he goes, "Hey, you know, I was thinking like maybe you could score a touchdown, and when you score it, just hand the ball to me." So I swear to God, I'm running the ball in the end zone thinking about, do I go hand the ball to him? And I didn't, because obviously it's a flag. Like I'm going to get 15 yards and Coach Parker's going to be just screaming at me.
Oh, yeah.
But, dude, it was like the craziest, like, no way that happened, because like I like throw the ball down like this, and I'm like looking like this, and I'm like staring at my parents.
That's so cool.
So that's gotta be up
Awesome.
there, dude. Like, because like my parents, you know, like they're going just crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, that's definitely got to be up there.
That was the craziest moment. So I actually went to Columbus for that game. And you know how at the top it was like right, so the parent section was down low,
Mm-hmm.
and then at the very top, exactly where the parent section was, but just at the top was the Iowa section.
Yeah.
I went to go get beer, and as we're in there, like the crowd just erupted, and like granted, we're right below the Iowa section. I was like, oh man, they just threw an 80-yard bomb. Like,
Yeah.
because it was what, first, second down when you did it?
Yeah, I think it was like first down. Like it like happened right away.
Yeah, it was like we had just gone down and the crowd's already going nuts. Like it was super loud, and we're in the concourse getting beer. We come out, and we're like, what the hell? Iowa scored. We're like, what happened? They're like, Joe Evans touchdown.
Dude, yeah, we were up 7-3.
Dude, I remember we were going to a bar, and I saw that. I'm like, all right, we got a chance. And then we're watching the game. Like the Uber's in the way. It's like 2 minutes away. I'm like, can you guys just flip the game on for like just 2 seconds? And they flip it. I'm like, oh, sweet, just started. And then you came around the corner and smoked. I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, dude, we're going to win this game. And then it was like, but that was like, at that moment, it was fucking awesome.
Dude.
I was in the stands yelling just like 2017 at the Ohio State fans.
I mean,
it felt like Amani.
Dude, that was like that. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely like peak. That like that's like, you know, like you say, like you athletically peaked.
Yeah,
That was my peak moment right there.
No, Joe, you have one more year to peak.
You know, I got one more year to peak. You're right, but like as of right now,
that's fair.
100%.
Hitting a top 2 pick in the draft.
Yeah,
and taking it to the house.
Taking it to the house at Ohio State. Like, I'll probably have that shit like framed in like somewhere.
Yeah,
you have to.
You know what I'm saying?
100%. Yeah. That's
yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome. All right, so we had Charlie Jones on 2 weeks ago.
C. Jones, man.
So did you guys get your scholarship the same day?
We did, actually. So we I think I saw a little I mean, like obviously like back in the day we talked about it too, but yeah, no, we got the scholarship on the same day. And so how we kind of like how we explained it, like it's like so like nonchalant, you know what I'm saying? Like okay, like that's so I'm literally standing there. So like I was like number 3 on the depth chart for like kickoff or kick return. So like I didn't really get many reps, but like I had to be there just in case something happened, because then I'd get subbed right in. So I'm like standing there like watching kickoff, or one of the two, kickoff or kick return. I'm standing there watching, and I'm like, all right, you know, just watching, trying to gain as much information. And I like out of the corner of my eye, I see like KF like beelining towards me. And I'm like, dude, like did I do something? Like, I was scared. I'm like, dude, he is like staring. He's like walking right towards me. So I'm like, dude, like, then I'm going through like weeks and weeks of like, I'm like, dude, like, I do like, I don't do shit. Like, I'm like, I've been at home, go to class. I'm like, there's literally nothing you could say. So he gets to me and he's like, hey, Joe. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, what's up, coach? He's like, like, how you doing? How's your day going? I'm like, it's going great. He's like, how's your family doing? How's your dad liking Tipton? I'm like, always loving it, doing great. And he goes, yeah, just want to let you know, like, we put you on scholarship. And I was just like, I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, like we put you on scholarship. And I'm like, first thing I did was just like thank him. I like honestly, like I'm pretty sure I gave him like a huge hug. You know what I'm saying? Like I just gave him like a big hug, and I was like, yeah, I mean, KF's the man. So like I just remember like that whole practice. I was just like, I wish he like, because like my head was like, I just got put on scholarship. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to get ready for Wisconsin, and I'm trying to like learn their plays, and I'm like trying to like think about that while thinking about like how much this is actually going to impact me and my family, which was crazy. And then like, and it was so cool too, because like I told like the D line, and like they were all so pumped, like,
oh yeah,
just pumped up for me. And then actually right after, this is such a coincidence, but my mom texted me because like I didn't have a car in college, and my mom and dad were living in Iowa City. So I think my mom didn't have class, like she works, so she didn't have work. And she texted me, was like, hey, do you need the car today? And I was like, why not? I'm like, sure, might as well get it. So her and my dad were home actually. She like comes and gets me from the facility to go back so I could drop her off. And like, so like I'm going back to the house, and I'm like, just like obviously like walked in, we're like chit chatting and stuff. I'm like, hey guys, like, by the way, I got put on scholarship today. And like, that's like something like they were all like, we all started like crying, and like,
yeah, that's a cool moment.
you know what I'm saying? It was like one of the coolest moments ever.
Yeah.
And just like such like a coincidence, like they're both home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was sick, yeah. But like just how like KF did it too, it's just like the most KF, like
such a KF move.
just
dude.
like the most KF move ever.
Like honestly, half the time when you give out scholarships, like you wouldn't know that dude had a scholarship unless the guy told you. Like KF would not. It was rare that he would like tell people. Like I remember at the end of one practice, someone was like, he like finished practice. All right, bring it up, and then like he had already told people they're on scholarship, and one of the coaches was like, "Hey, coach, you forgot something." He's like, "Oh yeah, so and so got put on scholarship," and like that's it. Like,
yeah, well, and I think like he would do it like that just because like he didn't want it to be like about him. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, no,
he like wanted that person to be able to share the news however they wanted to share the news. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was like one of the most like genuine ways to like do it, just because like he wanted that moment to be like for that person, you know? So like that was like super cool to see. And like, dude, I mean, KF's the man. Everyone knows it.
He's just the goat.
He's the goat.
He's
for
the most
sure.
genuine, like humble dude.
Oh my God. And like as I've gotten older, I've got to like talk to him more and stuff. And it's just like that's gonna be like definitely one of the things I miss the most. Just like just talking to him.
Yeah.
Such a good dude.
Very good.
Yeah, so I mean, you made your decision to come on back, which is huge for Iowa. I mean, you just had a hell of a season. But what led into that decision? And yeah, I mean, talking to the coaches now, obviously, like you've gotten super close with them. How much did they play into that, and what's different about coming back this year?
Yeah, so like I had to like obviously like talked with my parents for like ever, and my family and stuff, and kind of came to the realization that like for me there was like so much left on the table for me to accomplish. Like a big thing for me is like I'm I want to leave like my football career like being a captain, of the football team. So like not being a captain and like there was like so much other things. Like I feel like I could still improve a lot with football, and like I think this team, like for me, I think that we can accomplish so much. So like that was like one of like the big decisions on me coming back is like just how much I know this team can accomplish. And like there were some personal goals, but like I mean, obviously my number one goal is to win a Big Ten championship, and I think this team can do that. So like that was like a big thing for me. And yeah, like obviously like the coaches, like every single one of those coaches like mean the world to me. And like you got Coach Braithwaite, who I love, and like he helped me through the process, like KB, Coach Neiman, literally everybody, like Wallace, Coach Parker, KF, like why not go fucking lay my body out on the line 1 year for those guys?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like, fuck it. Let's let's ride.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean that was like my decision. And I'm not sure. I obviously like everyone's dream is to, go to the NFL and stuff like that. But, I know I have one more year here, and like being an Iowa football player was always my dream. So yeah, man, that was a big part of the decision.
Fire me up. That's elite.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Your journey story is, fire me up is right.
So I mean,
fucking Joe Evans, baby.
Goddamn right, baby.
The Hammer. Wait, do you have a nickname?
Jevons.
What's that?
Jevons.
I mean, people have called me like Smoking Joe, Jumping Joe. Oh, actually, this is a good. I'm glad you said that about a nickname. So, my dad, like, this is hilarious. This is a good story, which I don't even know if I want to say it, but I'm going to. So when I was a kid, this is like my dad, like he fucking calls me this shit. So when I was a kid, my dad, for some odd reason, would always call me like Joey the Bull. Like just like he saw me playing in like the yard one day or something, like with my brother, and was just like Joey the Bull. You know what I'm saying? So dude, I'm talking like he called me that fucking everywhere. Everywhere we went, that's what he called me. So when I was swimming in class, like I went to get swim lessons, and I was on a swim team, right?
Right.
The swim coach came up to me and was like, saying like, Joey, like, all right. He's like, what's your name? I'm like, Joey. He's like, what's your last name? And I shit you not, I was like, the Bull. And he's like, no, it's not. And I'm like, what do you mean it's not? He's like, what's your last name? And I'm like, the Bull. It's the Bull. Right? And I'm like yelling at him saying it's the Bull. And then so my grandma was there with me. I'm like 4 years old. And I'm like, I had no idea. So I ran over to my grandma. I'm like, Grandma, what's my last name? She goes, Evans. And I go, oh, so it's Joey the Bull Evans. Yeah. So like, that's like, if we had to talk about a nickname, like that's definitely like in my family, that's been my nickname. You know what I'm saying?
Joey the Bull.
That's a hell of a nickname.
Yeah. So
we're rolling with that now.
What's that?
We're rolling with that now.
Roll with it, I guess.
You're only the Bull.
I like that.
Yeah.
So
just funny ass shit.
Who's the craziest teammate you think you've had on defense? Like, probably like a certified psycho, like on the field, and then can just turn it off the field.
Jack Campbell.
That's such, dude. Jack is night and day.
It's like when that dude is on the field, like he wants to like like kill everything. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like he like snaps. And like when I say like, dude, like best teammate I've ever had, like ever had, like you know what I'm saying? Like if there was a draft board and I got to pick who I wanted to play with, like Jack Campbell would be number one by far. Just because I mean, like he was a killer and like he wanted the best for everyone on the field, and every single day he brought that mentality. So I mean, like, there's just like,
different,
dude, he is different. Like during scout team, like like going 110%, like literally in everything.
And like, dude, you see him in person, it's just like the most like calm, cool, collected, soft-spoken dude ever. You get in the field, it's like you're not. If you're on the offensive side, you're not his friend. Like you are.
No,
he's trying to take your head off.
No, yeah, like, dude, we had messed around and stuff, and like he was like like I must have caught him in like a mood or something. Like, and I was joking around with him, but like for the longest time, me and him are gonna have like a wrestling match after the Music City Bowl. Like, dude, he's like, I like went up to him like, yeah, dude, like let's do. He's like, dude, if you're serious, I'm in. I'm like, yo, Jack, like I'm not being serious right now. Like, he's like, I think we need to let's just have a wrestling match. Like, let's see who's gonna win. And I'm like, dude, like we're fine, dude. Like, you know, all around, like, just all American dude, like through and through all.
Oh yeah.
I think the funniest thing is he seems so mild mannered, and then it's him, Laporta, and Kayvon up on stage for the Big Ten Media Days last year.
Yeah,
he just goes, Big Ten or the tight end room at Iowa is the most coddled thing out there. Laporta's like, what,
dude. I mean, and like, yeah, I mean, I there's so much like good things I can say about that man.
Dude, you know what's funny is remember, Joe, I don't know if we stopped doing it when you got there. Or you might have been, were you in his class? He was in the same class, right?
No, he's a below me.
Below you.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, dude, I'm old as shit, all right?
Yeah. Welcome to the club, bro.
Welcome to the club.
Remember when we used to, when freshmen would come in and they'd assign a freshman to like an older guy and you'd sit down with him at lunch?
Yeah.
So I was assigned to Jack when he first came in. And I remember he would say it's one of those things where you're sitting there and you're trying to find conversation.
Yeah.
And it's like, so where are you from? Like, it's just a bunch of like common questions. Like, oh, this guy's like the nicest guy, just like a very like soft-spoken, kind of like shyer guy. And then like now it's like, dude, he is just a tank. And he's the exact same way though. Like he's still a very soft-spoken, super kind, nice dude. But I mean, you get on the field and it's scary mother effer.
Yeah, like scariest dudes. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, if I had to go top 3, I'm trying to think scary dudes. Josie was fucking scary.
They seem like the same person, Campbell and Josie.
They're pretty similar. I played with Josie I don't know. I mean, I'd say they play very similar. Jack's taller, and he's just like a big, but this mentality wise, they both had a chip on their shoulder, and like it showed. I think it was, I don't know, dude. I think it was Josie, Jack, and then Amani Jones. You ever play with Amani Jones, Joe?
Yes, dude.
Dude, you want to talk about someone who, if he was playing linebacker, was fucking. No, I just say it back. He was scary at linebacker. You want to talk
kickoff?
Ran down on kickoff, dude. I remember that year. The year he was like, our kickoff team was crazy. He tore a kid's ACL, broke a kid's femur, and gave a kid a concussion on kickoff. Like he was cooking, and he was like 250, just running down the field.
Just cooking.
Would
Dude,
lay people out.
for my freshman year, I was kick return and I had to try and block him.
Dude,
that was like a death sentence, dude. Like I'm like running back, like just scared, and I just get smoked every time.
Dude, it was exciting because when we watched film the next day after a game, on kickoff, every time Amani was running down, if someone tried to block him, it was literally like he just boom, and the dude would go like flying. Like,
they would go, dude, and he wouldn't break stride.
No, he wouldn't slow down at all.
It was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, dude, it was. Those three dudes are terrifying on the field. They didn't give a fudge.
No, they did not.
Check some linemen in there, but like, just I don't know. Those guys are different. I think Jack's the scariest out of all three, though.
Dude, he just flips. You know what I'm saying? You do not want to be on Campbell's bad side.
No, he's a beast.
Speaking of special teams, though, your punt block against Nebraska.
That wasn't me.
We texted Henry before this. We were like, hey, we're having the guy on who blocked the punt against Nebraska.
Yeah, I remember seeing something on Twitter about that. Like, Joe Evans blocks a punt. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so Mike, Henry's twin. Oh, yeah, you go.
Yeah, I mean, I should have just like subtweeted and said like, nah, like that was Henry, like definitely not me.
No, you should have subtweeted and said, absolutely, that was me.
Yeah. I should have said, I should have like, yeah, it was a sick block, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, the announcer said Joe Evans originally. So when Mike came on, Mike Marquez, Henry's twin, he was like, yeah, we're in our team meeting because that's a Friday game, the Nebraska one. So he was like, we're in our team meeting the day before, and like his coach was like, hey, Mike, you can watch the game. I know your brother's playing. So he was like, he's never let me do anything like that. So he has his phone in the huddle room, and they were like, or the announcer is like, Joe Evans blocks the punt. And Mike's like about to go crazy. And he's like, wait, it was Joe Evans. And then finally he sees the jersey. And he's like, it's Henry.
Dude, you would be surprised. Like the amount of pictures, like, and I told Henry this too, like they would like send me pictures of Henry. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, influencer tagged you
Influencer is the worst with that, dude.
In a photo. And I'm like, dude, that's Henry. You know what I'm saying?
You guys should have done the like twin flip where, you know, you guys have pads on and he's warming up with the DNs.
Yeah, and I'm going with the DBs or whatever. Yeah, dude, that would have. They would have just. Yeah, that would have stuck out like a sore thumb. Because Henry's what, like 200, and I'm 250.
Hey, Henry packs a punch, baby.
No, he does, dude. Henry's a dog.
He is.
Dude, like I'm talking like KF like still brings up Henry in meetings.
Oh yeah.
Just because like he was like that on special teams.
Henry is the model special teams player.
What'd you say?
I said Henry is like the model special teams
dude,
player.
100%. Like, and like he just like loved his role and just was insane at it.
Yeah, he embraced the shit out of it.
He embraced it, and it was fucking awesome.
That is hype.
He's the man. That family, they're all football guys.
Dude, just football guys. And his brother, what does his brother play? Tight end this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
They got
a couple tutties for him.
What's that?
He even got a couple tutties this year.
I know he did. Is he training for the league right now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he is.
You know what's so funny is that what did Mike come in as a safety?
Yeah, he was a safety. He wasn't that big either.
No, Mike came in as a safety. Henry came in as a receiver, and roll switch. Mike
Roll
scores. Henry plays defense.
That's
Just
wild.
a complete Freaky Friday swap.
Mhm.
That's insane.
A little parent trap action.
Little parent trap there.
There we go.
Yeah,
yeah.
seriously. And then I guess another one. This question came in from Spencer. He still wants an answer on if your cubic head is used as an advantage.
Get the fuck out of here,
What is it? What's the question?
dude. Get out of here, bro.
His cubic head is used as an advantage against offensive linemen.
Dude. Spencer, dude. I swear to God.
Yo, torch his ass.
No, I will. It's like, do you mean like I don't know if the fans know about his fucking 4 nipples.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
dude, and his hair is
dude, and like he fucking sits there and fucking talks about Joe's cube. His fucking head's huge.
Spence has a gigantic head.
His head is massive.
And his hair sticks out. It's like his hair looks taller than his face.
Dude, I know. And he thinks that's the funniest shit ever. It's like Spence, like, you can say the joke like 2 or 3 or 4 times and like, yeah, it's funny. He fucking has said it for like 4 years.
I totally picture him being like, yeah, Joe and your cubic head.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, he does that.
You know what I'm saying?
Cubic head. It's like
God, Joe, you got such a fucking box head. I'm like, yeah, Spence, sweet.
Good one.
The fuck am I? What do you want me to do about it? You know what I'm saying? God,
he finally got caught on camera this year.
that kid, bro. It's like you never know what's gonna come out of his mouth.
No,
love the kid, but it's like I mean that doesn't surprise me at all. Did he text you that today?
I sent it to him. I was like, should we ask?
Yeah. God damn.
I provoked it. I'll take this one.
Hey, that's fine. That's fine.
Provoked it.
Yeah.
Another thing. So I went through Twitter, just saw everything on your name. One of the coolest pictures is you sitting courtside with one of the transfers, the JUCO player of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a sick pick, but you might be a recruiter because he committed the next day.
Dude, I don't know. I mean, I might be coming for Barnes' job here soon.
Yeah.
Because I think I'm not even kidding you. Like, I'm like undefeated right now.
Who you got?
Anyone I've recruited. So there was actually 3 guys there. So there were 3, I think. So I got all 3 of those boys. And then I got, so like Van Ness, right?
Mm-hmm.
Van Ness was John's recruit, but like anytime John had a recruit, like I helped out with John. So it's kind of like 2, you know what I'm saying? Like I hung out with Van Ness too. So Van Ness committed. I think John had Richmond too. Richmond committed. Like I'm undefeated. I might be taking the roll over.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
And Van Ness going number 8.
I know. I think. I think I'm gonna need to be getting the call in a little bit more.
Yeah, you might.
I'm ready for it. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think he owes you a portion of his signing bonus?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. I mean, I've taught the kid everything he knows.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So
would he have been that successful as a DN when he moved from inside to outside if it weren't for you?
Absolutely not. There's no way. No, I'm just kidding. But like, if he wants to, throw me a Rolex or something, that'd be pretty sick.
Yeah, just a thank you gift, something small.
Yeah, something small like a Rolex or a car.
Nothing too big.
Like
nothing that a signing bonus can't help out.
A jet.
Yeah, like if he wants to just leave his like Jeep here.
Yeah, I think it's sweet.
I'll take it for sure. I'll drive that thing around.
I mean, you taught him everything he knows.
That's what I'm saying.
He owes you a lot.
He's got to take care of you.
What I'll tell you what's really weird though is like if you look at me and Van Ness's stats, like me and Van Ness were talking about this the other day. So last year, or I guess we'll talk about like this year, but so like last year, we had the same exact stats.
Seriously?
And this year, I'm not sure. Let me look it up. Can you guys still see me?
Yeah.
All right. I think this year we were pretty close too. I think we had like the same number of sacks and like I don't know tackles what we were at. But no, like it's actually like really weird how that all worked out. Because like we'd always like mess with each other and be like, dude, like I'm getting like I'm gonna have more sacks than you this year and blah blah blah. Like it was always like a competition between us. And we always
You were the leader for sacks this year, correct?
Actually, I don't think I was. I think Craig actually had me beat.
Really?
Yeah, Craig went off this year.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
Craig had a really good year. Let me see here.
Yep. You guys both had 6.5 sacks.
Yeah, so we both had 6.5. I'm trying to see. He had 36 tackles this year, and I think I may have had 40.
Yep,
Yeah,
that's correct.
But dude, like the 2021 year, which is crazy, is literally he had 33 total tackles, 17 solos, 16 assists, 7 sacks, and that was my exact stat line.
Dang.
Hey,
So
we're
you're next.
we had a well balanced D line that year.
Yeah, no, we did. We were
We'll take it.
That's crazy. ESPN does sack yards. You had more sack yards. 47.
Well, that Ohio State one helped probably a little bit.
Yeah, that's true. Does that count as a sack though?
Yeah, no, a sack, fumble, tutty.
Wow.
All
That's
three?
a stat pattern.
That's big time.
Yeah, so sack, forced fumble. So I had two forced fumbles this year. And yeah, if you want to, another nickname that, I'm going to shout out this guy right now, Ben Subert. Subaru. Subaru likes calling me Joey 8 Point. Joey 8 points because I had a safety against South Dakota State and then a tutty against Ohio State.
Hey, 8 points.
So he was calling me Joey 2 points for a while, and then I had a touchdown, so we had to switch it up, obviously. But nah, Ben Suber, that's a man too. I guess hilarious.
Great family. I was boys with Jackson.
Jackson's great guy too.
Great guy. And Ben was the dude too.
Yeah, no, I mean, I had a pretty elite house. Let's see if you remember these guys, Coop. So I had me, John, Ben, Nate Nelson.
Yep.
Elite, and then Mitch Riggs.
Yep. Elite house
right there. Over on Keswick.
I went on a party bus. Was it senior year? It was like a date party, I think, for Kai O. I don't know. Yeah, I think it was for Kai O. And me and Mitch were on the same dude. And I wasn't like that close with Mitch.
Yeah.
We a freaking riot. Dude, he is a blast.
Dude, Riggs is a good dude.
Good dude. So much fun.
Yeah. Riggs is a good dude. Dude, Nate Nelson. Nate Nelson might be the funniest person I know.
He's a great dude.
Dude.
That's a hell of a house.
Dude, that house, so we lived there for like a year and a half or something like that. And like, I'm telling you, like the most fun I've ever had.
Oh yeah. Dude,
it's so much fun.
So elite.
That's awesome. All right. Well, we can wrap it up. Joe, Burlsworth Trophy award winner.
Really appreciate that.
Blast having you on. You're going to have to come on again. We're holding you to that.
Hey, sounds good. I'll be on whenever you guys need me. I really got nothing at night, so.
Hey, absolutely.
I love
when the boys need me, I'll be on. All right.
Let's go. And also, we'll see you for the banquet this year. Dude,
I can't wait. I gotta start writing my speech up right now.
Yes. Yeah, we gotta start.
Like, who do I gotta send an Addy to for the trophy? Or are you guys just bringing that to the banquet?
Send me. Oh, well, I think we gotta get it in your hands ASAP.
Send me it, and then I'll relay it to Forrester, and then we'll try. plan some.
All right, sweet. Because, like, I mean, seriously, if you guys send me the trophy in the mail, that might be going on my Instagram.
Yes, let's go.
I'm gonna take a picture with it. It's going on the gram, and I'll tag you boys.
We're getting you a nice trophy.
All right, I appreciate that.
Hey, anyone is yeah.
You won it. You won unanimous decision.
I know, unanimous. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it was the lead.
God damn, let's go.
Linemen get the big trophies, but we got to show it here. You know what? We're gonna show on camera the Heisman.
No, of course we can't.
All right, we can't.
Yes, save it until all of them are out, and then we.
All right, that's a good point. That's
fair.
All right, but that's our Burlsworth Trophy winner, Joe Evans. Joe, thanks for coming on, man.
Appreciate it, boys.
Thanks.